Giant 96 Rio Radio. I'm Penny Lane, very excited. We first met this gentleman when we were at the Chicago Blues Fest in Chicago, Illinois, and I can remember walking by and he was playing guitar and harmonica, and he had a skateboard and a license plate. And at the time, we made license plate purses, and I was like, we were all drawn to him. And a few years later, he is here on a trip with Penny Lane, very excited to have the artist, the musician, the teacher, and the skateboarder, Mr. Lou Shields. How are you doing?
Hey there, I'm doing really good.
Well, thank you for coming in.
Thank you. I'm having a good time here.
You have such an interesting background. I mean, you love your art, enjoy your music, and then you're a skateboarder on top of it. You travel all over the world, and we can go and check out your blog, and you have pictures of where you've been musically, pictures of skate parks that you've been to, and so many fun things. I want to start off, tell us a little bit about your childhood.
Well, I was just a typical goofy kid that had a little bit too much wanderlust, so sometimes I would get on my little skateboard or something and be gone, and I would be in trouble for that. But I was always just into doing things physically outside. Loved riding my bicycle around, liked walking around in the field and by the ditch and stuff like that. And kind of just had this daydreaming thing. I think about it, but energy that was there. And then once I started finding things to use that energy with and be semi-productive, like riding a skateboard or something like this, it started to maybe be better for me that way. But I had a good time when I was a kid, just running around doing stuff, and always had like an interest in music, picking up things from, listening to the soundtrack on like the Waltons or something like this. My father was really obsessed with that, so I heard that a lot as a kid, or Andy Griffith's show, any of those like roots music kind of soundtracks that you would hear, banjo, or you'd hear guitar, you'd hear a little blues, a little slide, or some harmonica or something, and I was always very curious about what the heck that was, until I started getting older and realizing, oh, that's what this is,
How old were you when you started playing guitar?
I had my father had a guitar, so there was always one there. He never has admitted still yet to ever actually playing it, but I think he actually did. But so it was there, and I can remember, picking it up as a kid and, making sounds off the thing. And I think my sister had like a Barbie guitar, like when I was like maybe 5 or something, and that was like the thing. And I'd have the Elvis 8-track going, and I'd be like playing along to the non-guitar of the Barbie guitar, and doing my concert.
Did your sister like it?
I don't think she did, probably.
That's funny. And so you also play harmonica?
Yeah, a little harmonica, a little banjo, and skateboards.
I love
like
it.
that.
How did you come up? How did you end up, in the beginning, fusing like the skateboards and the license plates? How did that come about? Well,
I was doing this solo thing, and going to play in a really, really noisy bar was a heck of a thing to do in order to kind of compete with the crowd that's not really there to hear you. They're there to hang out and socialize, So the skateboard thing was something that helped me with getting their curiosity up, because I would throw that thing on the floor and it would clank, and they'd say, "What's this about?" And then I would open this case that I made that was basically a coffin case. First of all, they're already like very confused about that. And I'd bring this 4-string instrument out that my buddy made for me, which I can't say the name on the radio. It's the guitar that can't be named. And basically make a whole lot of ruckus with these skateboards, the license plates, and this crazy 4-string instrument. And that's what really kind of, brought some of that together. But I wanted to bring skateboarding in somehow, and I can't play drums, but standing on a skateboard while I'm sitting is like the most comfortable thing in the world, so I can kind of manipulate these things. Because if you're a skateboarder, you understand that, you have to move your foot in this spot or this little spot or that spot to do a little trick or to not fall on your butt, and so it really works for me.
That's so cool. That's interesting. Well, will you play a song for us?
Sure.
What are you going to do?
I think I'm going to do this tune called Ramblin' Road Bound.
All right. Lou Shields.
Hey now, I'm road bound. Well, I see you good now. Next time I come through town. Well, I'm rambling now, but yes, I am road bound. Well, I'm rolling now, but next time I roll through town. Wait now, it's a blowout. Well, I'm roadside stranded again. I'm thinking on you. Well, I'm rambling again. Yes, I am road bound now. Yeah. Well, I'm rolling with next time I get back through town. Hey, now. Well. Hey now, I'm coming on home, girl. Well, coming on back home now. Well, but you left town too. Well, now. So I'm rambling again. Yes, I am road bound. Well, I'm rolling now, but going all the way from that town. Hey now.
Mr. Lou Shields. Now, not only are you a musician, but you're a teacher, an artist too, which I love your artwork. And you've got a whole bunch of different series that is available on your website for people to check out. So tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, my website's LouShieldsArt.com, and I have, 5 or 6 different series of work up there from different themes. The last few years, though, I've been heavily influenced by kind of American history. So I have a couple shows that are involving the music of American roots music, essentially, which is kind of something we like to think about as like the music that was played by Americans all over the country from all over the world that came here and played before record companies kind of made labels for these names or categories for these kinds of music, and today we just kind of group together as the roots, and then it becomes other stuff. So there's a group of work I called Soul Yard, which was essentially imagining these musicians playing after work, and just kind of doing music for fun, for enjoyment, healing the soul, and all that kind of good stuff, so it's these kind of drawings that bring back some of those memories and people that have never seen it before, but probably can feel that kind of thing going down, A bunch of people playing on a porch somewhere out back behind the barn or by the tractor that they couldn't get running for the day. But, day's work is done, that kind of thing,
Yeah, they're very interesting. And I love, too, because it features some of your artwork, your EPK video, which is, they can check it out on your website, because that's where I seen the link from. But that was really cool how you put your artwork and then talk a little bit about what you're doing. And
well, a friend of mine, Jim Quattrocki, edited that all together for me, and a former student of mine, his name's Aaron Brown. He he did the animations in that EPK. So
That's really neat.
There's some things, my drawings are slightly animated to one of my songs,
I'm going to put that up in my blog when we put up our interview and everything, because I just thought it was really neat when I seen that. One thing that you did talk about that in the EPK was about how you talked about traveling and how it made you love our country. Tell us about that.
Yeah. Well, most of my life, my folks did the camping trip thing, in the summertime, and that was always really fun for me, and something that I really became kind of very much obsessed with getting to in when I was a younger person, and I wanted to go places, but I wasn't quite getting permission yet to do that. And finally, once that started happening in my adult life, I slowly began traveling more and more and more, and figuring out ways of doing it without, having all the money to do that kind of thing. So it started out with little skate trips and bouncing from one place to the other to hit these skate parks. And when in the early 2000s, when there was a resurgence in the skate park building across the United States, I started going on these pilgrimages and just going from park to park to park to park across the country. And the music thing was coming back into my life at that point. So I was writing songs about all this travel and kind of playing songs out in the woods when I was camping, because you don't really have the money to pay for a hotel, so you go off and find a place to sleep for the night. And had this really fun kind of nomadic lifestyle going on, and eventually the music stuff started coming back again too. And so then it's gigs and skate parks and camping and playing and reciprocal thing.
I love how you fuse them all together. It's neat, and your art right there with it.
Yeah.
So, will you do another song for us?
Sure thing.
All right. What are you
speaking
do?
of rambling, this is the Ramblin' Rag, so it's kind of a ragtime tune.
And what's this? Do you have a blue? Is
Yeah,
it
I
a
got
kazoo?
this strange thing in my it's in my rack. It's a humazoo. So it's something I actually found in Kokomo in a little shop over there,
Really?
like 5-6 years ago. And it's a children's instrument. It's way more simple than a kazoo, because kazoos are way too difficult.
Oh, are they?
And the humazoo is so easy.
All right. Well, we're going to hear a humazoo. I think that's a first for my show.
Ramblin' Rag here. Heading down that road today when I'm driving on through that southern country. Got the rambling rag. Ain't nothing on left I could do with a heading on south with a pretty girl too. Got the rambling rag, all right. Heading down that road today, we're getting on back to the old country now. Got the rambling rag. Nothing left to do, we'll say, we're heading on down to Mississippi. All right, got the rambling rag. Hey. Heading down that road today, we're getting on back to the old country now. Got the rambling rag. Maybe home a day for two, but don't you know I'm around her through it. Got the rambling rag, all right. I got the rambling rag now. Rambling rag.
All right. Blue Shields, Giant 96 Real Radio. And tell us a little bit about how do you go about writing your music? You do a lot of originals.
Yeah, mostly original tunes. I researched, all this music for years and years, listened to so many different people from the various genres you might go into, and have been heavily influenced by so many folks, But a lot of it's just from personal experience and things that I've seen or felt or experienced firsthand or heard about on the road when I'm out there, And most of the stuff's very kind of heartfelt. Of all kinds of subjects and themes you could get into, but it's all that living thing,
Do you ever write one about skateboarding?
I do, and I kind of mask it a little bit without, getting too, but I'll reference it once in a while.
Once in a while.
One of the best things was a friend of mine from Ohio, after I played, was like, "You're a pool skater, aren't you? I could totally tell by the way you play guitar."
Really?
It's pretty hilarious. Yeah, he totally got it.
Why is that?
It was just like, because I'm always like grinding around the guitar and messing up and then jumping back on again, and my timing is all weird, so I'll speed up and I'll slow down and I'll get up on top of the lip and do a trick and then come back down again and hit the other wall and do a slide and almost fall and scrape my face and not and somehow get it back around again. It's kind of like the same thing.
For us people that are not skateboarders, so there's different styles of skateboarding.
Oh, yeah.
There's street, ramps, bowls,
there's
right?
Different temperaments, just like with music. So there's people who are very technical and they have to get everything perfect or they can't live. And then there's other folks that are just happy to glide along, and other people get up real high up in the air and, hopefully not fall down too hard.
Yeah. Where's one of your favorite skate parks?
Well, I got to tell you, that probably one of the best in the Midwest still is this park in Kokomo, Indiana.
Really?
It's got the world's only 90-degree angled full pipe. And it's so gnarly that it just eats people alive. But I love that park,
What's it called?
It's just, I think they just call it, I don't know. It's something about
Kokomo
City
Skate
Skate Park or
really?
something like this. Yeah.
Uh-huh.
It's outdoor park. They built
right.
it about, 8 years ago or something.
Okay. So tonight you're going to be in Ohio. Is it Pumpkin Inn?
Toodles Pumpkin Inn.
Toodles Pumpkin Inn. Yeah, it probably has a lot of pumpkin things there, huh?
Yeah.
But you get pumpkin coffee, pumpkin tea. I can't say that word.
All kinds of stuff. Yeah.
But you're going to be a little closer to us. February the 27th, you're going to be in Richmond, Indiana. At the Firehouse Barbecue and Blues.
Yeah.
And so everyone can check that online. Again, your website?
It's LouShieldsArt.com.
All right. Will you do one more song? Close us out?
Thing.
And tell us about your guitar, too, because it has these really neat skulls. Did you make your guitar?
Well, my buddy Mike Callahan built this guitar. Most of my instruments are built by friends of mine and stuff, and he's built many instruments for me. And this is a resonator guitar, so it has a metal speaker essentially inside it. They call it a cone, and it creates a bit of a more of a volume than a traditional wood acoustic guitar would do.
But you don't have to plug it in or amplify it.
I do, because in the world of electric you have to, but my other friend made this cover plate that's very unique.
Because it's really pretty. The cover plate's neat.
He has a company called Paragon Customs up in Sauk City, Wisconsin, and he builds motorcycles and hot rods. And I call him up. I'm like, "Hey, buddy. Hey, Ryan. Can you do something for me?" He's like, "What? Can you make me a cover plate for my guitar?" He's like, "What's that?"
Oh, that's funny.
And I sent him a picture. He's like, "I could do that."
Oh.
And so he went all blacksmith style and hammered every piece of metal on this thing. It's made out
intricate.
of brass and bronze and metal, and it's engraved and all kinds of crazy stuff. And he did it all by hand, old school style, So
it's really pretty. We're going to have to put a picture of that on my blog too. So
cool.
Get everybody to go to our website, Trip with Penny Lane. They'll be up in the next few days because it looks like you. It's artsy. You got to like it. So, Lou, thank you so much for coming in. Well, what are you going to end the show with today?
Well, I could do a really quick song called The Coffee Song.
The Coffee Song.
You want to do that one?
Yeah. That sounds like a good thing on a cold, snowy day. The Coffee
like
Song.
My love of coffee, and we'll just do this real quickie.
All right.
Love my delicious coffee, well, you know I love you so. Soon as I finish this one, well, I'm gonna get me some more. Well, I wake up in the morning now, treat me just fine. I come home in the evening now, a cup of more better than wine. Well, I love my delicious coffee, and you know I love you so. Soon as I finish this one, well, I'll get me a little bit more. Well, I like black and bold now, no, don't give me no cream. Don't give me no sugar, I will bring up everything. Well, I love my delicious coffee, and you know I love you so. Soon as I finish this one, well, I'm gonna get me some more. Need me a little bit more now, come on, brew it on down for me. Bring it on, brew it up now, gonna bring up everything. Well, I love my delicious coffee, and you know I love you so. Soon as I finish this one, I'll get me one more. Need me one more now, coming on, brew it on down for me. Bring it on, brew it up now, gonna bring up everything now.
Coffee Song. Thank you so much, Mr. Lou Shields. Again, where can we find you online?
Thank you so much. LouShieldsArt.com.